Okay, so last night on Saturday, I took my Tenpai list to locals, and I ended up going 5-0, um, winning. First place got the playmat. I think first and second got the playmat as well as these cool little pins. This pin set for Rated Collection 1. Um, I think first and second got the mat and the pins, and third and fourth got pins, and we did a raffle for the playmat. But I got first place. I'll go over my matchups and then my deck list. So matchups. Round one was against Fluanderies. That was a 2-1 game. Game two, my opponent just flipped Harpy's Feather Storm, and there wasn't really much I could do. Um, I ended up taking it game three. Round two was against the Shining Sarcophagus Yugimoto deck from Legacy of Destruction. That was a 2-0 game. Um, there wasn't really anything like noticeable about that match. Round three was against Castira, which was a 2-0 match. Um, Board breakers really came in handy with that match. Round four was against Snake Eye Melodious. Hand traps really helped with uh, that deck. And round five, my opponent got the pair up, and he was on Live Twin Runic Sprite, and that was definitely a very interesting matchup because for games one and two, or sorry, Snake Eye Melodious was a 2-1 game, which the link package in my extra deck came up a little bit to help me make a board for follow up, but I messed up and didn't set up as good of a board as I wanted to, and so that was a 2-1, and then Runic Life Twin Sprite was also a 2-1, and that was interesting because my opponent basically did the same exact combo games one and two, and game three I opened up very poorly and still managed to kind of somehow take the win. Um, but yeah, those were my matchups. So I will get into the deck. Pretty standard ratio. 3 Pydra is just adds your spells or traps, quick synchro during battle phase. Chundra specials level 4 lower fire dragon from deck during damage step, quick synchro during the battle phase. As 2 separate effects. 2 Fadra, it's a junk synchron if it's normal or specialed, or if a monster battles during the damage step, you can target a level 4 lower fire dragon in your grave to special summon it, and then it shares the quick synchro during the battle phase. Tech choice of mine. Excuse me. I've really liked the Blaster Gold Sark package just because Gold Sark just becomes a fourth copy of Chundra, a fourth copy of Pydra, and third copy of Fadra. And then if you open this with like an extra Ash or an extra Fire Dragon, it's targeted to pop something. It came up last Tuesday. My locals holds Tuesdays and Saturdays for Yugioh. I was playing against just a stun deck, and Blaster helped. What was it? It was I baited out something for Solemn Judgment, and I did Blaster discard a fire card, pop their Sacred Village while they had like Jowgen, on field, and that was their like only board. So I just rolled Hydra or something and just attacked, and that was game. So I really like this. You could take it or leave it, but I really like it. And then 3 Sangan Summoning, 1 Terraforming, and then 3 Sangan Kaiman. So yeah, that is the Tenpai lineup. Hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Ogre. Ogre is actually really good right now because it helps out like the deck. The format right now just seems like field spells and continuous spells and traps. So as well as like Appaloosa or IP Masquerena, this helps out basically all of those. Yeah, it just came up. Game 3 against Live Twin Runic Sprite. My opponent had like a Sprite Red and I think a Hugin on field. And that was, their hand was just really weird, and all they could really do was make a Gigantic with those 2 monsters, and they did Gigantic effect, and I just used Ghost Ogre to destroy it, which I think really helped turn the tide. So it was pretty good. 3 Effect Veiler, and 3 Imperm, just generic targeting negation and stuff. I wanted to play Ghost Mourner, but I couldn't really find the room for it. The deck is 40 cards, so I just didn't want to make the deck just too bricky. For consistency, 3 Pot of Prosperity. For going second, board negate, 3 Forbidden Droplet. 2 Lightning Storm. And 1 Harpy's Feather Duster is basically 3 of the same card, essentially. Just for back row hate. And then board Monster Zone hate, just 2 Raigeki. Raigeki came up against Kashtira, just because I opened it like twice in a row. I opened it game 1, outed his board. Game 2, opened it, outed his board. So, I don't know. It's just really nice because it just helps out troublesome monsters. But that's the main deck. I'll get into the extra deck. For the OTK dragons, 1 Trident Dragon. If you make this like uninterrupted, it's just a game. 1 Transcendent. In the matchup with the Shining Sarcophagus deck, or just any matchup where I just see an open board or a few cards in hand or like back row or something, usually if I have access to the field spell already, I make this first thing and then go battle phase and then activate like Kaiman for Fadra to reborn into stuff. And so if that happens, usually it's game because your opponent can't activate cards during the battle phase with this guy face up on the field. And it's really nice. 2 Bident Dragon. It's another Fadra. If it's Synchro Summon, you can target a level 4 or lower Fire Dragon in your grave. Summon it. Actually, I think it says 1 Fire Dragon. It does. That's kind of insane. 1 Fire Dragon in your graveyard on Synchro Summon, you can special it back, but you're locked into dragons, which doesn't mean too much in the deck. These 2 also share the effect that if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, and it's in the graveyard, Transcendent can summon itself and non-target pop a card in the same effect, and then Bident does the same thing, but for just spells and traps. So they're really, it's just really good for OTKing. Yeah, that's the OTK dragons. I messed up the spread here. 1 Ruddy Rose just to out graveyard heavy decks like Labyrinth or Dynamorphia, I guess. I can't really think of any other graveyard heavy deck, but yeah, it's just good. 1 Black Rose, just because with the field spell you can make an unaffected Black Rose to nuke the board. 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. It's just a mini Transcendent, but just for monster effects during the battle phase. 1 QE belt because there's not a lot of like generic level 7 dragons. And 1 Samurai Destroyer for, I think it's just mainly for the Yubel matchup. I don't really know how the Yubel, how Samurai Destroyer interacts with the Yubel stuff, but it's better to just have it. But that's the synchros. For my Link package, 1 Promethean Princess, 1 Heavenly Spheres, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Hida, 1 Doolittle Chimera, and 1 Striker Dragon. So, Game 3 against Snake Eye Melodious, this package came up just because my opponent deburied me. And he had a Zealantis and a Diabellstar in attack position. So I just Lightning Stormed, and I think he only had 1 card in his hand. I Lightning Storm him for his monsters, and that forced him to go Diabellstar, discard his last card, summon Diabell, and set the original Sinful Spoil. And just so I kind of wanted him to do that, but where I messed up was that I normal Chundra, he flipped a D-Barrier on me, called Synchro. So I just went battle, attack into his Diabellstar, Chundra summoned Pydra, and his Diabellstar was in defense, so I summoned Pydra. I don't take any battle damage, which was nice. And then Pydra, I searched Kaiman. I did Kaiman, summoned Fadra, and I just swung into the Diabellstar just cuz, I think. Then I made Hida, and I used Hida to take his Promethean, which was, I think, it was the Chundra and the Pydra to make Hida, and I used Hida to steal his Promethean Princess, but I should have taken his own Hida, just so I didn't lock myself, because I wanted to make a board of Little Knight in the I wanted Seals in the Extra Monster Zone, SP in the main Monster Zone, with Promethean Princess. No, I think I wanted to do Little Chimera just for follow-up. So it was SP, Doolittle, and Promethean Engrave, but I messed up by stealing his Promethean Princess with the Hida. But it didn't matter too much because he just went and attacked. I banished his original off of Little Knight, and he went Diabellstar, swing over SP Little Knight, and passed, and luckily I top decked Pydra. So it was a lucky top deck, but his top deck was Talents, I think, so it wasn't going to do much in the follow up. But yeah, that is the extra deck. The Link package came up. I really like the Link package. I feel like you should play a Link package just in case you get debarriered, which is going to be often. But I don't think the whole Zealantis Raging Phoenix OTK thing is that viable for the deck. Plus, I can't really afford it, so it's easy for me to say. But yeah, I liked just this set of cards. Striker Dragon didn't really come up, so you could probably just find another Fire Link to play. Or just something else. Maybe like an access code or something. But yeah, that's the extra deck. For the side deck, 3 Shifter. It's easy to side this against like rogue decks. This helped against Snake Eye Melodious, just to make them have a very suboptimal board, because they want to send their stuff to the graveyard. So it's a good card, and it doesn't really hurt you too much as long as your hand is decent and you have like an almost open board just to swing into. 3 Santa Claus just for outing towers. Game 3 against Live Twin Runic Sprite, I drew 3 Santa Claus one Ghost Ogre, and I think a Chundra, which was unfortunate, but I already said how that went. Yeah, this is just out towers, and it does a pretty good job. You played this over Kaijus just because if your opponent summons multiple towers and you open multiple of these, you can summon multiple of them to your opponent's field. Instead of Kaijus, your opponent can only control one Kaiju. You can only control one Kaiju. So I think it's the better option. One Quackimera Drago for the light and dark matchups. Yubel, or I don't really know what's Melodious, I guess. And I guess Shining Sarcophagus. It's pretty good. You summon it off of seals. It's an OTK against Yubel because seals make it 0/0 and Yubel is just all 0/0 monsters. So it's pretty good. Triple Crossout Designator just for the mirror match and going second into post side. I'm not very good at sideboarding, so I definitely should have sided this in way more than I should have. I just didn't know what to take out from the main deck, and I don't know. But this is it's just a really good card for the deck, I think. 2 Cosmic Cyclone just in case you're going against more back row heavy decks. And then 3 D-Barrier for the mirror match. You can side 1 and 3 for going second, like game 2 or 3. Your opponent flips D-Barrier, you can just cross out it. It's just a very good card right now. But yeah, that is the Tenpai list. I went 5-0. Very, very happy with the results. And yeah, I think that's just about all there is to say about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you guys later.